Zoop. Hello, hello. Apparently I'm streaming vertically on Twitch, I think. So that's cool. Couldn't work out how to use Prism. Forgot all of my passwords. Yesterday I just did a stream. The other day I did a stream on YouTube. Now I'm doing a vertical stream on Twitch, which I honestly didn't know you could do that. Because I haven't streamed on here in like a year or two. Let's go to multi-stream chat, I think. Oh. Okay. This is kind of cool. I wish I knew how to record this, because I feel like this would be handy to be able to record. I'm working on this frog. Which means I need some black paint. I have a lot of little crafts that I am doing. I'm also apparently using a lot of CPU. So, multi-streaming may not be that good on this computer. We'll see how it goes. If not, I will just go back to YouTube. But I think the plan is work on my little frog. And then I have some spiders. Little spiders that are like ornaments and brooches that I'm doing for a video that I'm putting together. But I was thinking, wouldn't it be nice if I stream this and then use the footage from the stream? Because she can, in fact, kill 2 birds with 1 stone. And then no birds. And let the birds live fancy free. What do I need for this? I need some red, some yellow, some blue. Here are my frog's little eyeballs. And I also will need to paint his underside when I finish the eyeballs. But for now, I'm gonna finish his little eyeballs. So I put a couple layers of like yellow and brown on, and I have started glazing him, and I have put a bunch of these, I don't know what they're called, rhinestones and beads and like sequins and stuff on him. And I will put a couple more on, I think. But he's looking pretty good with this sealant on. It looks very glossy. Then I'm going to paint the bottom after I finish the eyes. So, eyeballs first. I need a reference photo of a toad. I got a whack fringe today. Let's see. Toad eyeball. How to paint eyeball. Yeah, toads have cool eyeballs. Whoa, okay, someone photoshopped a toad to have eyeballs in its mouth. That's different. It's unusual. Frog eyeball. it seems like I just need to add a whole bunch of black kind of dotted into his eyeball. I wonder if to do that I should actually use like a little dotting tool or something, like the end of a pencil maybe. Might try that. I've got a little pencil. Let us see. Oh, that works pretty well. She will be using the end of a pencil. Tappa, tappa, tappa. So, thinking that I don't know how long I'm streaming for, because I have to go to the supermarket and do some other stuff in the afternoon. But what I'm thinking right now is I work on this frog, and then I work on two other things that are part of this decoration that I'm making, which is for my mantle. And that's a bunch of like bejeweled suncatcher sort of spider webs and some beaded spiders. And this is one part of my Christmas crafts for today. For a video that will hopefully be up this month. And depending on how far I get through this craft, these crafts, I may even be able to decorate my Christmas tree another day this week. Because I put all my Christmas trees up, including the one behind me, and words. And I have yet to decorate them. I have yet to even fluff them out properly. I have yet to put any wreaths up. But I am a little torn about putting my wreaths up too early because of the sun. I don't want the sun to like bleach them. But I just broke my little dude. Do I have a palette knife? Not with me. She does not. Do I have white paint out? I have some in here. I'm gonna scoop this up. It's mixed in with this acrylic sealer stuff that I've been using to glaze. And I don't know what it is. I'm gonna assume it's some kind of like polyurethane, but I don't know. And I can't know because it doesn't say on the bottle. But I figure if I just keep layering these little dots, this will look kind of toad-like in the end. Oh, do not drink your paint water when you want to take a sip of your coffee. Paint water is not coffee. And my paint water is probably dangerous because sometimes I pour alcohol, like isopropyl alcohol, cleaning alcohol, not drinking alcohol, or terps in to clean my brushes depending on what stuff I'm using. So definitely don't drink that. He's got some depth, he's got some dimension. There's a part of me that right now, because I'm doing this, I want to be doing little dot work. What are they called? Like dot work nails because of this. I'm torn about whether or not I should make his lips more yellow. He looks really shiny on camera. I don't think he's this shiny in real life. He looks more just like regular shiny in real life. Um, how? How? I feel like all the toads I'm seeing are a lot more yellow than green, but since I chose a lot of green beads, I think I need to keep him more on the green side. I'm just looking for references because I'm trying to work out the lighting for the eyeballs. And how these little dudes really look. And I think that I need to put this black here. So it looks like they have sort of really black corneas, and then the yellow starts, and then they have like a really dark pupil. These lines are way too thick. So that's cool. But I think that I can just blend it out and thin it out and whatnot, make it look more shadowed, as opposed to just a big line, which is what it kind of currently looks like. I don't really know why I went back to using paint on polymer clay, because I started using pastels recently and life-changing. But here I am, using paint. Maybe this needs to be more shadowed in here. Oh no, a bead dropped off. I know for a fact that I'm gonna have to go over this guy, over his beads in some respects, and also glue some more down. Most of them are holding on really well, but I couldn't find E6000 glue anywhere. This one's not holding. So that happened. There was no E6000 glue. I'm going to make this darker too. I'm going to start spreading this black out so that it's like shadowed. I think my dishwasher just finished. Cool. No, another bead fell off. I mean, I know I should have left the beading for last, but I was having too much fun with it. Don't dip your paint water in coffee also. You don't want to drink your paint water, your paintbrush in coffee. You don't want to drink your paint water, and your paintbrush does not want to drink your coffee. I think I need to mix up a little bit of this dark green. Where his like belly is, I've made it paler, but I think I want it to be more yellow. Like more this color. But I also want it to be almost like skin toned. So I'm gonna have to mix up some skin tone. Like a peachy sort of skin tone. I mean, I'm gonna put some here, and here, and here, and here, and here, and here, and everywhere. And here, and here. And then I should have like a soft brush, this guy, that if I let dry for a bit, he will kind of be perfect for blending that in. Should I make his little butt yellow? And I think I am gonna want to also put some like watery black down there just to get into all the cracks and stuff. Give him a little depth. I commandeered this little spinny thing from my baking supplies because I haven't baked or decorated cakes in ages. And it's become awesome for painting. These little sculptures. I can go like this and I don't have to touch it. Ooh. little veins. Okay. Just a really thin bit of black in, oops, that was not watered down at all. Really thin bits of black, and I want to just like brush it into the wrinkles here, maybe some down here. Yeah. But that was like a random bit of black paint. It was just a hole in his leg. It was just a hole in his leg. Okay. Now back to the eyeballs. All my references seem to have a little line of white. Up here. Thought I just broke my pencil. I need to mix up more green and flesh tone. So I need purple. I need to make a violet. Just cracked my neck. This paint palette is wildly dirty, but most of the paint is dry, so it's fine. All the others are in the sink getting washed. Getting soaked. Ah, this is the wrong red. A violet. It's a warm red, not a cool red. It'll be okay. Should be fine. Looks fine. Oh, hello, I'm blurry. Autofocus. Can I come back at any point? Yeah. Oh, cool, cool. We're back. It's like I'm painting tiny toenails. And then this guy. And then I will have to go back over with this green, or at least a green. Ah, no. Then I want more of that yellow. I think my palette knife is also in the sink. And I'll put it over here. And I'm mixing like a teeny bit of this sort of pale yellow. I feel like the most pale color should be in the center. I might mess that up already. Maybe I should go over with pastels once it's dry. Okay. I will need to mix up greens. I might need to go and get another palette. But in the meantime, I think that I should try and smooth out the black on his little pupils. 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 So, my idea was for this guy to be like a stocking hook to kind of hold a stocking on the fireplace. I'm not sure if he will still be a stocking hook, but he will be on the fireplace mantle. And all the garland that I put around the mantle is all like sort of spooky themed and like gothic with like, you know, foxgloves and hellebores and stuff like that. And then I thought it would be a cool idea to have this guy wearing a little crown, so he's like a little frog prince. And then the idea would be that it's like a witch garden. And actually, I can mix up green in here if I pull these little rhinestones out. While I do that, I need to get this sealant on a clean brush. This guy. A bit of sealant so that I can keep glossing his little eyes. Because I need to make sure that I gloss them every couple coats. So that he looks really translucent. And so that I layer my colors up nicely. Because I'm talking about frogs and toads really interchangeably. But from what I can tell, from the photos I've seen, they're pretty goopy looking. They're pretty translucent looking. This is really not the right brush for this. I don't know what brush I should be using. Like a flat brush, maybe. Not a texture. Sorry. Because that one's leaving lines. I learned about this technique that some artists use called glazing, where they like mix their paint up with something like a clear medium, and they can get really cool marbled effects. And then some people just do it with water. So I'm trying to do that. This gloss sealer. But honestly, might be something I need to do more googling of. And I am yet to paint the underside of this little dude. And I don't know, his eyes have kind of gone really dark around here, so I think I'll need to come back in with green and like green highlight and stuff. Bloop. Anybody else working on projects? Has anybody else already put their Christmas tree up? And has anybody else like me put their Christmas tree up and not decorated it yet? I put it up last week. I put the living room one, the dining room one, the one behind me, and a tiny one in the kitchen up. And I've still not decorated it. And I understand now why people do tiny Christmas trees. I was always like, oh, tiny Christmas tree. Yeah, I guess it makes sense, but I like big Christmas trees. But the older I get, the more I'm like, oh, it's a lot of work to put your Christmas tree up. I get it. Makes way more sense to have tiny ones. I think that stuff will sort of level itself out from what I've seen. Okay, I do have blue and green already out. Teeny tiny bit of blue. And a little bit of brown. Yeah, that'll work. I need to look up this glazing technique. Painting, glazing. Hmm. Let's see, glazing with acrylic. Okay. It appears that I'm doing it correctly. It appears. It just takes a ton of layers. No, I hate when the beads fall off. Makes me so sad. Spent so long arranging them yesterday. Oh, I'm blurry. Every time I dip my head down, I get blurry. I need to drink some water. Okay, is this guy dry? This one is. The other side, not so much. Paper towel. I want to use, I have this like sparkly gold stuff, and I kind of want to use it with this glaze medium in his eyes and see what happens. It's so sparkly. Ooh. Ooh, that's cool. Okay, that was a good idea. Nice. That should add some depth and dimension. Make him look like a, I was gonna say like a tiger, but it's not what I wanted. Like, tiger's eye. The stone. Cool. Okay, now I kind of want to mix this with my green that I mixed up. I feel like when you're almost finished is not really the time to experiment all that much with your... Ooh, that's fun. With your painting. Like, this is cool. But I'm having fun. I'm having the time of my life. Ooh. He gonna sparkle. We're gonna have some sparkles. Ooh. Okay, that's fun. I like that. I have some other stuff I need to sculpt, but I think I need some baking paper. So, I shall put him to the side to dry so that I can come back and glaze him. I can sit on my printer for a bit. I'll be back. Okay. I couldn't find baking paper, so I got alfoil. Oh. Brum, brum. Okay, I had some bugs that I was sculpting. Brum, brum. That guy is cool. You like that? Like, maybe it's over here. While I'm here, there's glitter all over this clay. I had the idea to sculpt some bugs before I do my painting. Go to my saved pins. Oh no, now my hands are all painty. All pins. Nope. I just Google bugs. Bug ornament. Hey, there they are. Okay. I just needed a reference for where to put their little legs because I don't know, I always find their little legs difficult to place. Somehow this polymer clay got covered in glitter, and the somehow is me and my inability to properly organize things, so that's fun. Alright, so all these little bug dudes have tiny little legs, and the tiny little legs are actually popping out of all of the body segments. But they all have one thing in common, and that is that they have little points. So his little leg would be here. And his little leg, he's the same bug, but his little leg is up here. Those are two legs. And then he will have another two and another two. This leg is way too thick, the top. My autofocus is really annoying. I don't know how to turn that off on that camera. I thought I put everything into manual because it overheats when I stream if I don't put it in manual, but apparently not. Yeah. So, one tiny leg. I'm gonna get polymer clay in my hair. That's gonna be fun. Another tiny leg. These legs may be a little bit too thick, but I don't know how to get them thinner right now. But it might work when I start brushing the alcohol to smooth it all out. I really think it's just that top leg that is too thick. on this side. So we'll see. We shall see. Oh, I should move this guy first. He's very small. Why does that look huge on the camera? And then he needs two more legs. So I feel like I will make a bunch of these little bugs, and then I've got these spider bead things that I gotta do. And a spider web that is proving very, very difficult. I thought it would be really easy to make one of those like bead sun catcher sort of style spider webs, but it's hard. It's not easy. My mouth is so dry. Despite all the rain, 'tis the most, actually not the most, the least humid it has ever been. His little leggies. I'm gonna go like this, and then his little leggy wants to go down here. That, no, I crushed his toe. Not his toe. And then okay, so that top one is definitely too big. They are way too big. Take that off. And because I feel like the top ones should be kind of the smallest. Like the thinnest. Based on bugs I have seen in real life. Ah! Oh no. This one's not even. Maybe this guy should be further out, and more like down in the segment. Yeah, like that. I'm not gonna lie, I find bugs very difficult to shape. I have been trying, and it is difficult. Actually, I have just realized that I think switching the autofocus off on my webcam is a manual thing. Okay, his leggy comes out here, and it goes up and in and out in like a S shape. There we go. Yay! Yes, a bug. Oh, this one's too long. Eh. And then this guy's leg looks almost too thin. Well, she's never getting it right. Okay, this one needs to go down lower, I think, to match this guy better. And then these are his antennae. And I feel like the antennae should go out. Not an in. And now I'm confused about his head. I guess this is his head. Maybe I should slice off a little bit of his head up here so the antennae aren't so thick. I'm confused about how bugs work. Oh, my cat just woke up. He's so cute. Hello. Oh. Okay. I get this little ball tool thing. This guy. Ah, I got no autofocus. Oh. What are you doing, sweetie? He's awake because he's basically retired. And he lives a life that says, "Hello, I've woken up and it's almost 4 p.m. I would like my dinner." So he's gonna sit in the middle of my floor until he's like, "That's what I want. I want food." Pretty buggy. Very bug-like. I'm gonna use this brush to do the smooth. This leg doesn't want to stick. Just got a bizarre like flash across my screen. Maybe I'm crazy. And I don't know what's happening. And there was no flash. Who knows? I feel like this bug is gonna need surgery because his leg just broke off. So there's that. But he's also gonna need like roundness on the other side, so I'll have to bake one side first. No, his leg keeps breaking off. No, now the other leg's breaking off. Yeah, I should have used wire. Ugh. Oh wait, the legs look better like that. They look better further down like that. clay. I should use a tiny bit of turpentine because I feel like that actually melts polymer clay better than alcohol. It doesn't dry it out. But these legs are too skinny now. How are you getting there? I have a window open beside me. I'm gonna pour out a tiny bit of turpentine, like really tiny, onto this cloth, and that I think will help me knock this down a little better. Tiny, tiny bit. Literally just enough to put on the brush. That's better. My mum is an oil painter and she has used turpentine as her like thinning medium of choice her whole life. And the time that I told her that I used turpentine as well, she was like, "Oh, you're gonna knock yourself out." And I'm like, "Girl, I learned from you. We keep our windows open. Ventilation." Okay. But yeah, I always find that my, what's it called? I try to use alcohol, smooth stuff out with polymer clay, and it just doesn't work for me. Turpentine seems to work a lot better for me. I generally don't try and make sure my polymer clays are covered in yeah, that would be how you do it. I try to make sure that my polymer clays are not covered in glitter. But this polymer clay is like a really cheap polymer clay that I think I got because it came, all these little colors came with a bunch of tools. And I actually didn't really like it when I first got it. It was kind of terrible. I'm just gonna dip the actual tool in here. So I didn't really use it, and I didn't really store it properly. And I kept storing it in a box that had a bunch of glitter in it, and then the glitter leaked. And I wasn't intentionally trying to mess it up, but it happened. And now it's got a ton of glitter covering it. And if you know anything about polymer clay, you know that it is virtually impossible to get glitter off of it once it's there. This little side of its bug head doesn't want to play ball. You get in there. Dip my brush in here too. It would be a good idea to decant some tubs, but I feel like it needs to be in a really well sealed bottle, and I don't think I have a spare well sealed bottle. I can hear a little cat crunching on his biscuits. I feel like every time I dip my head down and go really low, my autofocus goes funky. And Clay, this Clay, he really wants to just crack and not play ball. You gotta play ball, buddy. Yeah. No, his leg. No, not the leg. Okay, I feel like I should stop playing with him so much. And I can go back to doing my toad. Hi, Smeagol. And that means I got the brush. Try and wipe some of the clay off the brush. And put that guy away. Put this rubbish away. Set this guy somewhere. I can go on top of the printer. Now that I got this guy back. Yay. Okay. I think this is going to be so much of me just relining this guy's eyes. Putting his pupil back. Putting his pupil back. Oops. Relining his eyes. Smeagol, are you trying to eat a Christmas tree? Does that mean that you want food very soon? Where's my mouse? Oh, there it is. I can see him in the background. Hopefully not eating Christmas trees. You know you can meow first before you start being destructive, sir. Okay. Gonna do more dot work on the eyeballs with a pencil. I have been dipping my pencil in here. This varnish feels pretty dry over the whole toad. Ooh, I see some glitter where it shouldn't be. Okay. Brush to cover that little bit of glitter. Here. And here. And then once again, we must layer with green. So one more time I gotta mix up some green. And I've been putting some brown into my green so that it looks less, I don't know, unnatural. Mm. This almost feels too dull. Too natural. I think that needs to be brighter. Less olivey. Especially if it's going to be on the, what are they called? Like the high points. Well, that's yellowing. And brush them in here. For more yellow. That looks better. Yeah, that's warmer. That's warmer. Interesting. Now I do feel like he needs a brighter green. He looks so dull to olive. Okay, I feel like that's better. And I gotta blend this tone in more. Yeah, he was looking way too olive for a sec there. I don't want him too emerald, and I don't want him too olive. He's got to be right in the middle. A bunch of funky tones. For the funky frog he is. Now I'm just dry brushing. I have Elizabeth Taylor by Taylor Swift stuck in my head. Because I was listening to it when I was getting ready today. Okay, I feel like the chest part now looks like his little under here, he's too dark. So, making it more yellow, but adding white so it is like a pale greeny yellow. But I feel like it needs to be on the warm side, especially in the center, and especially around the lips. So, I'll get there. But right now it just does feel like I'm going over this a ton. Which I am. Should use the glazing medium there too. Dry brush. Like, I always start whispering when I'm concentrating on art stuff. Oop. Hi, Smeeks. What are you doing? Hello, kitty cat. I like this fade, actually. Hello. Um, I'll feed you in 1 second, sir. It is, in fact, dinner time. That's not the right brush. That brush feels cooked. Here we go. Put the glaze on my eyeball once more. And across the face. Okay. You might need a little bit more. As I work through. Oh no, that's too brown. Should be okay if I keep layering. Not yet. I was just about to. Yeah, it's a paintbrush here. Okay, I think the cats are harassing Adrian, so I will go feed them. Oh, okay, I was just about to. I'll do it. Kitty cats. So I shall end.